What's up, everybody? This is the poker coaching study session, and today we're checking out a brand new tool called DTO three-way. So it has post-flop simulation for like multi-way spots. So let's get started. So here the cutoff opens, the button calls, and the big blind calls. And we get this flop. On the flop, big blind check and cutoff check, and now it's on us. It's our turn to play our range. So what do you guys want to do?
Small. 2.7.
Betting small.
Haha.
I think, I think I check, a large portion of the time here.
I would check as well because the kicker is not so good and we're multi-way, so it reduces our break.
Yeah,
Ah,
So at what point, what kicker would you start looking at trying to clean up some equity here with the flush draw on the board?
well, we're gonna see. We're gonna play all of our range and we're gonna see where we start betting. We should be already betting half of the time here. And we haven't even have some big bets. So I think it's really interesting already. We should be betting plenty. We went for the check, so. This one, I would bet small. So as we saw the last example, we had a sliver of big bets.
I think I mean, I would be more apt to bet small because it's multi-way, but it does not look like we're supposed to. I mean, I just in general. On
I'm a half-
multi-way bets.
I'm a half pot better, three-way pot, so I'm kind of in between these two bet sizes.
Small.
Yeah, bet small. You don't need protection here.
Alright, so this is, from my understanding, this is our range. And this is what we should be doing with it.
Check two, that's correct.
So it seems like. Let's say for this one. So it's checking off of the time and it's betting off of the time, and then ace 7 is like betting pure, ace 10 is betting pure. Okay, so it's a new tool we're gonna have to figure out. Oh no, we have ace 10. What about this one? We have a spade. I would check heavy here.
Yeah, I'm checking.
Check.
It is not a check.
I don't mind a bet.
Okay, so if you
I was
bet
thinking-
what size, it's always gonna be small, right?
I was
think I'm
thinking
checking
small,
pocket
yeah. I was thinking bet small.
There
You're in
is.
position. I don't
So-
think you need to pot control in position.
So it should
What's
be
up?
betting big sometimes.
Hold on, before you go ahead further. Can we see how often our range bets here? Because I'm curious, like, say cutoff versus button heads up, we know we're gonna bet roughly 55-60% of the time. I want to see how that changes with one of the blinds in the hand, if we could see that.
Does it give EVs for that or no?
Sorry, Ken, I don't think we're gonna be able to do that. Maybe we can, hang on. So 40 big blind. So
I
yeah,
wonder if there's
check this out. This is a range bet if we're heads up against the big blind. We bet any two card here. We bet more than 90% of the time.
a big, yeah, but if we're heads up versus cutoff checks, button's gonna bet roughly 55-60%, right?
Yeah. That's right. That's the result of the range, basically.
So. This is just versus, this is versus, we're betting 60%.
Yeah.
Versus both.
Yeah, we're checking 40% of the
So
time.
it's roughly the same. We basically, I mean, we're playing in it similarly so far. It looks like the big blind's not even in the hand.
So it seems to me like we're gonna check.
Except on those weird,
Stuff to
like,
figure out.
everyone
but,
knows everyone has a straight, like if Jack 10 makes a straight and you don't.
I mean, this is only one texture. So what'll be interesting is like, I wish we could see, yeah, I wish they had reports. For the flops they ran. That would be really good.
Yeah, but this is a beta tool, right? It's a brand new.
Hey, LP, can you hit the pie bar down in the bottom right corner? Change it to a bar. Okay, I like pie better, actually, sorry.
Still not clear for me what checks and what bets are. So when we over bet two, I think it's just the yellow part, right? It's not
No,
the
what
white.
are you trying to, no, Louis, what you're trying to figure out when to bet over bet? Look at the two, the colors are really close. But that's the color of your over bet. And you can see it when you scroll off that, you'll see it. When you scroll off both of them. You can see there. You can
So
see
this
ace
is
jack
the big
always
bet
bets.
and this is a small bet, right?
Right, exactly. So ace jack is betting all the time and about 25% of the time is big betting.
Okay, but say ace deuce, what is ace deuce doing?
Check
Ace
it,
is,
sure.
ace
Oh,
two-
Just checking.
Small bet all the time.
Okay, so the pale part,
yeah,
the
the pale
light
part, but-
yellow is check, right?
right, and the
Yes.
white part, but this isn't right because the white part, there should be a white part for check.
No,
No,
the
excuse-
yellow, the light yellow is pure check. Okay,
Right.
so this ace three wants to check, like,
Well, the light yellow is check? What a horrible,
yeah,
oh god, this is so hard to read.
Yeah. Does it have an option to give you EVs with it too or not?
Oh, that's misery.
We
Those
might, I
colors
mean, there
are
might be a
so
way to customize it. Like, we haven't really dug into this yet at
yeah,
all.
we're just, this the first day. So
Yeah.
I'm literally trying everything.
I'm just saying that the default colors on this are just a nightmare.
You know, they made this for a phone, right? So,
I had the app for the phone. It wasn't bad, but I didn't pay for the upgraded version either, though.
Go, when back in the pie chart, I thought I saw that it had whites in the pie charts. Is that
Alright.
true?
Only if you scrolled over the.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, only if you scroll over it? Okay,
I think pie charts are just the worst.
yeah. Yeah,
That's already better. And then we can choose between classic,
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, the
that's-
green
What have you
check,
been doing over there, Louis?
that's already a lot better, right?
yeah,
There
yeah.
you go.
So we
Yeah.
know green's check, right?
Green is
right,
check.
phase two always checks,
Very good.
okay.
Change from absolute to relative. Change relative to absolute.
Wonder what is that doing?
The frequencies. Now we know that we don't have ace four suited much.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Oh, okay,
Sounds
gray
like
is
Chris
how
is in a
often
wind
it happens.
tunnel.
Alright.
okay.
Okay, so we're going. Green plate.
You gotta, there you go.
Somebody was carrying us in his pocket.
Alright, so we got it set up pretty good.
Right, so the
These
answer,
are-
the answer to the question was,
The
was,
ranges.
was we're checking everything ace nine and below some of the time, that isn't
We're
true
not
pair.
checking any top pairs here.
No, we're checking ace nine. We're checking ace nine, ace four, those are all top pairs, ace
Huh.
three.
We are checking actually a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we check. a
Ace
lot- we check-
six down is like, more 50% plus.
Yeah,
Okay.
So ace eight can make a pair, still ace nines, they got redraws and shit. Whether they're any good or not's another story.
but we
So
bet
we're
them.
Betting spades, the high spades this time, the best spades.
So LP, pull up a sim for cutoff versus button, 40 bigs, this flop, check. I might actually have it if you don't. Just compare the ranges to see. I'm just curious how we play
It's not
If
the
we start
same
s-
range at all. You realize that?
why not? Cutoff's the button's gonna play the same range versus the cutoff regardless.
Yeah,
Right.
no, whether the big blind
Range
comes
Which
in.
Yeah.
is exactly
On
the
the
same.
pre-flop, the range is gonna be the same.
Yes. Third person
So
has.
I'm curious how the
Oh.
post-flop range changes between heads up and now with the big blind in the hand. Understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How we play our range differently, if at all. Like, that's what I'm, if we don't change that, like, I'm changing drastically and I might be making a big mistake doing that, right? Like. I like to compare these different textures as we go along to see how much we deviate from heads up when we're in position.
Yeah, it's not gonna be drastically, Ken, because you're in position.
Dude, I check a shit ton.
On the flop.
But
I check
also,
way
I-
more. I am never betting 50% anymore or 60%. Like, I'm not, I know I'm not. And it's probably a mistake.
The
Yeah,
flop
blind-
also
big-
makes,
Big blind is so wide still,
Might be a
so,
mistake.
yeah, ace high board, it's be fine.
Oh, good, you got
The
GTO
flop- the
with us.
flop
You're gonna
also
have them
makes-
all.
the flop also makes a big difference. This is a flop that does not hit big blind range anywhere near what it hits.
Well, right, so we're gonna have to compare flops.
Yeah, so there are gonna be some flops where the big blind just owns it.
But our range is gonna be really close with them for aces. I mean, it's gonna be ace eight and ace 10 offsuit and all the aces suited. So it's a even equity. Oh, this is wizard.
So
Alright,
this is button now.
this is button. And this is button. So here button checks heads up against the cutoff, he checks 60% of the time. Here he checks less. You saw that?
Wow.
Saw that, less checking.
Much, yeah, much
I
less.
played it backwards.
Yeah,
This particular
that's-
hand.
I didn't expect that.
I guess
And then
because,
where the bet size is different. When we bet, so we're gonna be betting more larger bets, I assume, since we're checking more.
no, we're checking less.
Which,
Oh, right.
Oh, right, we're checking less, but I mean, yeah, so what I'm saying is, in heads up, are we using larger bet sizes more often? We freeze.
must be because it has to be, because we're checking more.
We're using it a lot more often. 17% big bet here, whereas 27% big bet. And here, basically, the button on this texture is just betting big or checking. Checking 60% and betting either like 80% pot or 55% pot. So it's blue, so it's all big bets.
So we size down a little bit multi-way, but we bet more.
More often, yeah.
For this scenario with that.
For this, with one hand, yeah, we're gonna have to look at
Let's
a
see
lot
what
of
Fido
stuff.
says.
Only in position.
Yeah.
See, Pio has a very, very similar solution. Like here,
GTO with
we check 60%, we check 60%. We mostly use the big bet, we mostly use the big bet, so both Pio and GTO wizard are very close on this spot.
Heads up. So far, we're
You can see
seeing
the
that,
difference, you're checking less.
so far, the first hand we looked at, we're checking less and betting more, smaller bets on it so
Yeah.
far. Like this texture, maybe you should start taking notes.
So we should bet small more often on this, is what I'm hearing.
On this texture.
We
Ace
should bet
Broadway,
more
two
often
tone,
and small.
somewhat connected. There's straight
Yeah.
draws to the ace, the straight draws to the 10.
LP, can you change it to,
Yeah,
change
hang
it
on.
to the si-
It seems like it's around, like it has to do with the 7, so when our kicker is under the 7. We check a lot more. And when our kicker is above the 7. It seems like it's betting.
And our bluffs are probably gonna be all natural. We're never gonna get out of line, I don't imagine. We're
No,
betting some
Well,
under pairs a little bit still, which is always gonna be a thing and heads up, and then we're betting our best hands. And then we're checking like, are we betting king, jack more often in the heads up scenario? King, jack, king, queen? Are they
Yeah.
betting more often heads up? I feel like they are. Not really. King, jack
What
off's
ab-
betting more. Yeah, they're betting a little bit more.
what about, the suited variety? There were, you have the flush draw. The back door and the back door and the front door.
So you bet big more with a hand like king jack, whereas now you're checking.
Yeah, so, the draws aren't as aggressive multi-way.
So see here, we have like big bets, 55% with our draws when we're heads up. Whereas,
But look at
don't
look at the king jack suited, the king jack of spades. It looked like it, go over the king jack. It looked to me like the king jack of spades never checked in the multi-way scenario.
So we could throw out, it's probably
Yeah,
throwing out.
look at
our
that. Look at
backdoor
look at the king jack of
draws.
spades. It has almost no checking.
So what I'm thinking is, we're betting less backdoor
one-
straw, we're betting less
the other one, it-
backdoors multi-way is probably the thing.
Checked a ton.
Yeah.
Cause ends up, we get to bet a lot of backdoor draws. Now multi-way, I think we're gonna abandon them.
Yeah.
Some,
Yes,
more.
that makes sense. But we never check, I mean, statistically, but we never check our king jack suited multi-way and we
Yeah,
check it
front
half
door
the
flush
time
draw and straight
and
draw.
straight draw. And I would think the opposite of that. I would instinctively play that the opposite way.
Say that again, Scott.
So
Say what-
you've got.
I
king-
think
you've
I
got
understand what
king
you're
jack-
saying. That makes
You've got
sense.
king jack of spades heads up. Half the time you bet it as a very good, as a very good premium draw. And half the time you check it and try to get your equity another way, heads up. Multi-way, you bet it every time. And that's the exact opposite of the way I would instinctively play it. Cause I would think multi-way, it's more likely that somebody else has something.
Correct.
And I don't want to get blown off my equity by either of them.
Maybe it's this one hand.
So how I think about it is when I'm heads up on the button versus like cut off, hijack, low jack, and they check to me, I do over bet now. I used to under bet, but I try to find all my draws and bet them. But here multi-way, we are abandoning many of our backdoor draws, it looks like.
Yeah. And I guess if we abandon our backdoor draws, maybe we have to bet our good front draws more often, maybe.
Well, they're always gonna bet both ways, I think, right? We're gonna keep betting those and we're gonna bet, it looks like we're betting a little, we're bluffing a little less with under pairs.
Right.
And
But just
maybe
the-
marginal pairs might, like second pair might be betting less. We have to look at the tens. I'm not sure.
And the king jack alone, the king jack that isn't a flush draw does a lot of checking
Yeah.
multi-way.
Yeah.
It's just the combo draw that does it.
Like heads up, it'll bet the backdoor hearts or spades or diamonds here, I guess it is too, but heads up, it'll bet the backdoor, I think. And then multi-way, it's not gonna bet the backdoor.
And I would assume that even heads up, I mean, even multi-way here with that king jack of spades, if you get raised, you're happy to get all in.
Yeah,
on
you're
the
just
flop.
gonna have to go, right? You have to go with it.
Yeah, you either call it or maybe you just shove it.
And this doesn't go past the flop, unfortunately.
That's pretty
So
unfortunate. actually.
button is still sizing up for value with this top pairs. And seems like it. What is jack ten? So can we say that? What can we say about the backdoors? King eight of diamond here is betting.
King eight of diamonds is, king eight of diamonds was doing a lot of.
Well, that
checking.
has two straight draws, right? That can make the Broadway straight and it can make like, 10 high straight, jack high straight. Which might
Yeah.
not be good, but it can make them.
Yeah, the king eight of diamonds has 3 backdoors. Oh, and you're right, it's never checking.
If the cutoff were to bet, would they size up more often then, since they're out of position and you want to reduce the stack to pot ratio? And you're checking more?
We'll have to wait till we
Multi-way.
get, like, we set this up just for button at the moment, so like, we can't go through it the way.
Oh,
we
you can't
normally-
flick between, okay. I was
Nah, it'll
kind of,
change the hand. We'll have to set that up. We have to run through each spot. and
Yeah.
then set up
Maybe
a new
if I do
spot.
this. Oh, no, I can't.
but logically, they should bet larger, right? The cutoff.
I mean, I do. I don't bet
If they
large, but I
see
bet
that.
like my small bet is gonna be about half pot, and that's kind of what I use.
Okay,
Multi-way.
well,
By default, 'cause I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, honestly.
From
LP,
out of
LP,
position, I wouldn't from in position, but out of
Yeah.
position, that's absolutely fine.
can you change that 7 to a jack? And see what we do when we have the nuts that are very susceptible with no spade, or like what we do when we have the nuts,
So-
but we're very susceptible being drawn out.
So
Yeah.
this program doesn't have that ability. It does, there's like 120 flops and we are just limited to what they are at this point. They have to add, they're gonna add more. But this is a newer tool
It's
for
a
them
better-
and it's limited.
It's better. There's no other multi-way training tool available right now.
Yeah.
Simple three-way, but I hated it. It takes forever to run a hand. I didn't like the interface very much.
This is pre-solved, so it's.
Munker,
Yeah, one of
How
the
do we
problems,
structure a range?
What was that?
How do we
one of the-
structure our range? In general, we mostly bet with the spades.
Yeah, the way I'm thinking about it so far, LP, is I'm gonna just pretend I'm heads up versus cutoff. Heads up versus cutoff. I bet a lot of my draws, right? And they're gonna include backdoor draws. Multi-way, I'm gonna bet in a lot of my backdoor draws.
yeah.
So this is simplified first hand I'm looking at. That's
And
why,
you
that's
bet-
the path I'm starting to think on.
And you bet half pot there, Ken, in position, cause I bet a third and it lets me see 2 cards usually for a third.
I generally use a half pot bet multi-way and no matter where I'm at on the
I use
flop.
the third.
Yeah, in
I don't know if I
position.
should, but that's what I
third.
do.
Yeah, I don't know either. I just feel like.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but that's what I do. But out of position, you can size up.
So I'm under the impression that in general, we almost always bet when we have a spade draw.
And the straight draw.
Yeah, they're all flush and straight draws, so they're really good, right? Like, we're gonna be pretty happy going with those hands probably.
And you can call check raises with them.
And interestingly enough, it still does include the, KK specials. For balance, it's got some of those low pairs, but like, I'm never gonna bet that multi-way.
I'm miserable betting those low
I'm
pairs.
not bluffing twos and threes and fours here multi-way. It's no way in
Just-
hell.
That's the worst.
Way in hell.
Although it does it rare, at least it does it rarely.
Yeah, but it doesn't do it that much really in the other spots either. Like, they're always just
Okay.
small portions for some sort of balance, right? Like. But there's no way I'm doing it 3 ways. There's
Oh.
no way, no.
And on this flop too.
Right.
Range check.
But like, it's weird though, cuz maybe like, it's like when you bet. You're betting into 2 people, so you look, there's an appearance of strength, right? Like,
Yeah, but there's so much they can call
and then
you.
the big blind's kind of stuck in the middle, so he can't float much.
Yeah,
You're really trying to get heads up a lot. That's why I like to bet about half pot. I want to try to get heads up at least. And then move on from there.
Hmm. Hmm.
So like, I bet Jack 9 and the Pio's betting a lot more. Heads up. Jack nine's only spades too, probably, right?
Yeah.
Got a couple straight draws, spade draws.
This is more or less how we structure already. Alright. And then
And tens do bet. I would never bet a 10 here.
Well, all the tens have redraws, right? Like there is no 10 without a redraw. So, I
Yeah.
mean, it could go bet.
Yeah. that's
If we
for
get
sure.
called, we get to check down and see the river, right? Often, unless they find a dog bet somewhere. So we
Yeah.
kind of get to realize our equity with a small bet, with a hand like that. That's why I like small bet there with the marginal stuff and redraws. Cause you can get like maybe the big blind out of the hand. And then, kind of just buy yourself the river.
Look at the 10-8 doing a big bet. And let's see what's the suited.
That's
that's bet.
spades.
It does it, no,
Can't be
when it has
spades.
diamonds. It
Diamonds,
does, it
yeah.
does it mostly when it has the back door, the secondary back door.
Yeah, I mean, I could find that.
Yeah, but it does it a little bit.
Yeah.
It does it a little
Oh,
bit.
it does it. I don't think I'll find it. I don't know how.
Yeah, I
it's
wouldn't,
fine.
yeah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't.
But
bet that.
now
I
it's
would-
using like the big bets also. It's twos a little bit, threes a little bit, fours. It's all like bouncing shit. I mean,
We qualified though, like, we have a pair.
alright, let's try to play it now.
Okay,
Is
Wow,
it gonna hop around or
Back to
just?
I
be
think this
only
is gonna check,
this
the
flop is
most
gonna work on-
and bet like, maybe 30%.
I say bet big here. Have the back door, we have an 8. That big. 0%.
Okay.
What is it, check?
Front
Bet
door is
check.
gonna bet big, probably their LP.
Okay, this
How
is,
do we go back?
this one mostly checks and then mixes the two sizes for bluffs,
Yeah, it's gonna be
Or
like a
jack.
80% check, I think.
right? And bets the small bluff more than the big bluff. That's what I'm gonna say.
So
Look at
if we
me,
block, does a spades block bet maybe
Okay.
the most? If it blocks the flush draws, is that how we size up with the under pair bluffs?
Yeah, the one that blocks the continuations, the spade is the one that gets to bet more.
barely.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's, if you look at the
I
five.
can't even see the difference.
With deuce, it bets less.
Yeah. Yeah, it bets the big size less without the spade. I mean, it bets the big size more without the spade with deuces.
With sixes, it only bets the spades.
Yeah.
5
Yeah.
only bets the spades.
cool. That's a rule I can follow. Should write that down.
Alright.
So like it's important to note, I think also, like we call to set mine with those hands a lot, but when we go multi-way, if we're not finding them bluffs, we're just losing money probably. It's some, I mean, it's part of the calling range. We can't
I'm-
win it to other ways.
Ken, which bluffs are you talking about here? Because
Under
I'm a
pair.
little, oh, under pair, oh. Yeah. It looks like they check a lot, right? Is
Yeah,
green
they do check a lot, but I'm just in my head, like, we can't find the appropriate bluffs with them post flop. We're not really winning as much as we could. As it is saying we can when we decide to play them pre-flop. That makes sense. I don't know if I'm being clear with my thoughts or not.
Yes.
Yep.
I still don't wanna do it multi-way. Just feels like, it feels so punty.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm sure if we work on this tool enough, I'll start finding them, trying them out eventually.
That's fine.
And
Ace
the,
queen,
and the-
ah, the big.
and then
Yeah.
Ken, randomizer you can use for whether to do it or not is whether you won or lost the previous hand that you played.
I think as long as I remember if I block, if it's two-tone so far, if it's two-tone and I have the top card, the two of the suit, then I can try to get out of line once in a while. And then rest of the time to give up. Just simplify
Oh,
it
yeah,
that way.
yeah, don't, yeah, simplify it, never do it, just never do it without the blocker.
So have we determined which size this big bet is? What's the bet? Do we do the sizing? Do we know what percentage of pot it is?
6.
So 6 divided, which, and what was the pot?
8.5, 3/4 pot bet.
So 3/4 pot it's using.
3/4 and 1/4 is what it's doing, ish.
Pot was 8, you said? Yeah, 77%, 78% almost.
3/4 and 1/4 pot, because we have to be a little bit polarized in this spot, because remember, the cutoff still has aces and tens, so he
He's
has
got
the
strong
top
range.
2 sets,
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Strong range.
right? And we 3-bet a lot of aces and tens here, so in some spots we don't have the nut advantage, so we are going to have less bets and more big bets when we do bet.
I thought when we don't have the nut, I thought that that when we don't have the nut advantage, we're almost never betting big.
This
So
is
we have
not
the-
way.
We have the range advantage because his range is wider, right? He's like, think of the cutoff's opening range. And our flatting range is more narrow. So the
Right.
construction of the 10 and the 7 in this hand lean towards the 8 and the 9 being pretty important cards, which is a better portion of our range than his range that opens.
So
So-
LP, can you redo this exact hand and play it from the cutoff now?
Yeah.
And then we can go back to this spot with other flops. I'm just curious how, we should maybe look at the cutoff range. And what they're up to. Yeah, I think you have to set the scenario up again. You have to go back and set up the scenario from the beginning and let's find this flop. Cutoff, big blind button, 40.
Light and full. We have other option. We have another option to choose here.
So this is cut off
This is.
Yep. Lots of
and he
checking.
is checking way more.
Way more. Everything.
He's checking heads up 60%, I think.
Did he not bet, did he not bet his tens or seven? Did he not bet his other sets?
No, you don't bet sets.
Nope, you
I wanna
check
take a look at that. Not even-
86%
not
of the
lower-
time.
Yeah, I'm gonna look when we get that back up.
So he checked 70% in PIO and GTO. I thought it was 60. Okay, so 70%. And hold on, so cutoff versus button, the key card is the 9, right? For the cutoff, has that changed?
What have
No,
you done with
'cause-
Louis, you damn dirty apes? Oh, there he goes.
Alright,
So I
Does it,
think heads up, the cutoff is gonna size up most often on 9 high flops. I'm wondering if it's, we don't have a 9 high flops. We're not gonna be able to say it.
So the cutoff does not bet bottom set.
Isn't that
Any
neat?
set. Checks them all.
Wow. Yeah,
It only bets its best top pairs for value. And it's
and barely
Worse.
that.
Got 2 pair, king, 10-7.
Well, he's also
Okay.
middle position right now, right? So doesn't it
Yeah.
make it mean he should be checking more anyways?
Pairs with redraws and top pair and 2 pair. I gotta get my coffee.
Yeah, so 10-7 unblocks both opponents having aces, so it gets to bet.
Yeah,
And I think for that reason too, like I would be inclined to bet sevens here, but not aces and tens.
yeah.
But I guess if
I'd
you're
be good
just
on betting
checking,
tens. I'd be good on tens because it still unblocks the aces. And those are the hands that you're getting raised by and getting called down by. But
but you're not gonna get floated. Right? Like when you're blocking tens, you block their cards that are gonna call once
okay,
because they're gonna overfold against an ace.
yeah,
So I still check tens, but I'm surprised sevens check too.
Alright, so a good heuristic. From the cutoff here with your best value hands, you wanna size up with your best top pairs and then. If you have a card of the suit from the flush draw, you're always betting big.
okay, that's
Whereas
where,
if you have just a good top pair, you're mixing 50-50. But when you have a card of the suit, you do it.
right.
And it's,
But that's the opposite. No, look, Louis.
for the value ends, it's true.
No, on the high ones. So the jack matters a ton. Go roll over the jack, the queen and the king slowly. So on the king, so the king, it's making a little bit of a difference. It bets a little bit more with this, but it's the jack is where it's dramatic. But as you get down to the 10 and the 9, it doesn't care. And on the 9, it prefers not to have the spade.
I think like ace, jack and ace queen need less protection than ace king, honestly. Cause they got redraws. Good, decent
So do they-
redraws.
Oh, I see, because
Like they
got
can
the-
make top, a queen can make top straight. Ace queen can make top straight, right? Well, no, it can't, I guess.
No,
Yeah,
no, the
confused.
jack can benefit from the 8-9 run out. But
Yeah,
the queen can't and the king can't and the
Right,
king
right.
equally benefit from Broadway.
And once you get down to like ace eight, the opponents are flatting ace jack and ace 10 and ace 9, right? So your kicker is less valuable as a value part of your hand here.
Mhm.
So it doesn't matter as much whether it's a spade or not.
now,
Queen jack does some betting. Queen jack of spades never bets.
Okay, well, that's good.
what's the pile range look like or GTO wizard, whatever?
Hang on, I just wanna clear
Okay.
something
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Alright, so I think it's clear by now. What about 9-6, 8-5?
And we also have to be aware, when he bets, we way overfold. If we face a bet, we also way overfold,
Alright,
which we won't see in this solver because it doesn't go to the turn, but we share equity now with two. I mean, everyone's aware of that, but there might be some new people in here. But multi-way, we share the equity with everyone in the pot, so we way overfold, we overfold versus
Yeah,
a bet.
we share the MDF.
Yeah, so I mean, there's some new people in here that had missed all those sessions, so I just wanted to mention that.
So along with the color choice that we don't like, you'll notice that they've got some shading just in the graphics. They use that same orange for their shading. So the orange shows you the bet, but it also appears like, look at the right of every one of these things. There's a little bit of the orange everywhere on them, at the right and the bottom and the top. How annoying.
Yeah.
What a terrible color choice.
Well, that's the suited side. The unsuited side is blue down there.
I'm sure we're gonna be able to customize it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Let's see the GTO wizard
For what,
cutoff.
cutoff?
Oh, the cutoff's gotta be betting more than,
Betting 30%, twice as much.
yeah.
So it's actually very similar. Let's see here. This is spade. Ah. Okay,
Yeah, it has some overbets here with its best value hands.
yeah, but here, what I see is when we have a spade, we don't do it.
Yeah.
So having a card of the suit drives down our frequency here for the value hands. Whereas multi-way, it drives it up.
So you want more equity, you want to maximize your equity multi-way. Again, that's gonna be a reoccurring theme. I think.
So.
And then like here, it is gonna bluff, like as I thought it would, it's gonna bluff some of the under pairs, which they completely abandon them. I can't say the word. Anyhow, we don't do it multi-way. We don't fuck around with that. Out of position. Only the in position player gets to get out of line.
How did you, what did you say that was, Ken?
So the cutoff never screws around with the under pairs for bluffs. Only the in position player appears so far. Maybe the big blind does too, but
I bet the big blind checks range.
yeah, cutoff
but
doesn't get, cutoff doesn't get to bluff the,
You said something smart about maximizing equity.
oh, so multi-way, we're just leaning on our highest equity hands, basically. I think it's gonna be a recurring theme. Except, the sets, right?
In ace ten.
Too bad.
Yeah, at two pairs, ace 10, 10-7. Interesting enough, 10-7 bets more than ace 10.
Unblocks an ace.
Yeah,
And what can you say
7.
about this part of the range then?
they got
That's
pairs and
the most
redraws.
betting we do is the nonsense.
They're pairs plus redraws. Straights, flushes, redraws.
9-6.
So you already have a pair. So you have outs to two pairs, you have outs to straights, you have outs to flushes.
9-6. 9-6 doesn't have a pair.
That's
Okay.
just the gut shot. But it's our worst high card hand that has equity in the gut shot, and it blocks continues from the opponents. Right? 5-4 doesn't block opponents continues, but 9-6 does.
Yeah, and 9-6 of diamonds loves the bet. I think that was our only pure bet.
So bottom pair and what?
Well, they have redraws as well. So there's pretty good, they're fairly good equity bluffs. I mean, if you
Yeah,
get
there's
called, you got a good chance to, improve still.
There's no equity bluffs. You always
Yeah,
your bluffs draw
Oh, you
from
have to have
spots where you
equity.
have equity.
yeah, all our bluffs are all equity driven here.
Yeah.
Gut
9-6 of
shot.
diamonds. Look at that, 9-6 of diamonds, always betting. 9-6 of spades, never betting.
Yeah, it's too good.
It's too
Yeah,
good.
we never bet any flush draws from the cutoff.
We're not betting any spade draws.
Any.
Our
Queen, look at this, all the spades, nothing is betting. I looked that up already.
Very interesting. I'm
Yeah.
sure population fucks this up tremendously.
What is the reason specifically for that? Is that because like button and big blind are gonna have more of the suited, range?
I got no idea.
It's because you don't want, you don't want to get check raised. And you don't want to get checked by the, you want to get raised by the button.
Yeah.
I wish it would tell us what hands we check raise and which hands we just call with.
And this is one specific flops as well, so we're gonna have to really spend a lot of time digging in. This isn't like an ace, this is ace Broadway. It's pretty
Yeah.
connected as well. In many different forms. That's gonna hit both ranges.
And none of the straight, and it has no up, down straight draws on this board. It has no double gutters. So all the straight draws are gut shots its best. So you can beat, so it doesn't mind getting knocked off those.
Except 8-9.
You're right, sorry. 8-9,
But yeah, there's tons of gutters here though.
right,
Right.
and 8-9 is even, and 8-9 is problematic because when you make it with a jack, you're not making the nuts.
So heads up, we lean towards betting our worst flush draws. Whereas multi-way, we check with the flush draws.
And the 8-9 never
so-
bets. Look at that, the 8-9, which is a real, the 8-9 acts like a flush draw.
Once we get
What
to
about-
showdown, even when it hits probably.
What about the 8-9 offsuits? Is that one betting with a spade, Louis?
Oh, yeah,
That's
no,
what
no,
spade
it
checks
does.
without.
Blocking them from having a spade draw against you.
Yeah.
And having a shitty backdoor spade draw that for yourself, just in case.
What
Yeah,
is
so I-
9-7 here?
It's a pair plus redraw, I guess.
It's not a value hand. It is a bluff with with relevant blockers to their continuations. Right, because when they call, they're not going to call with a 7 very often here, but they're going to call with the cards that are connected with the 8s and the 9s.
Yeah, and the 9, I guess the 9 can block some straights that could cooler us when we make it.
Well, it also blocks just their continuations, right? Like a 9 and an 8 really want to play here. And it's going to be a big component of the buttons flatting range. So when we have a 9, they're less likely to have a 9, and a 9 and an 8 really want to continue here.
So
And-
what about these sixes?
So these ones, if you look, it's particularly the diamonds. It's setting up where we're going to barrel diamonds corresponding to our value bets with our top pairs here. So these are going to be our continuation bluffs. When the 2 of diamonds rolls off, we're going to
But these
size
are
up.
not the worst diamonds.
What we have to do,
No,
LP,
no,
is,
they're diamonds with a gut shot.
hold on,
But-
what we gotta do, LP, is now we'll have to run this as cutoff does bet and then look at how the button structures their range after facing a bet. And we'll get maybe a better idea of why everything's doing what it's doing.
But we don't get to bet our worst diamond draws here. We have to have more equity multi-way. So our best diamond draws are give ups, or sorry, our worst diamond draws like 5-4 with no relevant blockers are just give ups. And these diamond draws have enough equity to bluff with.
Yeah,
But
makes
these
sense.
diamond draw, remember, these diamond draws are also direct gut shots.
Yeah, and well, that's why
they-
they have more equity. They block continuations. And because in some ways, we are also out of position betting here. And so when we bet out of position, we want to bet with equity because there's the button who called behind us.
Yeah.
Right? If under the gun 1 had opened and we had flatted and we were in position, I think we'd be more inclined to bet our 4 or 5 of diamonds here.
So if you guys wanna check it out, we got a 20% discount code for all the DTO products. It's poker coaching and caps.
Oh,
So
Thanks.
I put it on our.
Very nice.
And that's found on the YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to that too, right?
Yeah, we
Um,
build that up. The more we build up the base, the likes and subscribers, the more stuff we can bring into this group, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
share it with your
what can we
friends
say
too.
about the six? It's like gut shot with the backdoor flush, right?
It is an equity driven bluff.
Okay,
With relevant blockers.
I'm not sold that. Like, eights and nines are gonna be a big part of the button's continuing range though, because we aren't heads up. I could be wrong, but I mean, they are gonna overfold, so I'm not positive that that is really a reason.
Well, his range is going to be condensed. Like he's not at he doesn't have the top of his range and he doesn't have the bottom of his range when he flats us. So he's going to be compressed between 10 and 7 a lot.
Makes a lot of sense, but I'd still like to
So-
see it in the sim.
What do
I
we
mean,
do?
make perfect sense, Peter. I'm not, but I still have to, like, I am like, I
Okay.
gotta see shit in black and white.
Yeah.
Cause I feel like they're, I mean, I feel like you're probably right.
I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not a solver. I'm just a guy.
I'm just a man.
alright,
What do we do
Cut
when we dunk and we get raised by the button? Like say we dunk.
So
7-6,
see, this is the button now. Just
ah.
folding all that shit. You don't get the, you gotta overfold, man, a lot, right? So that's what I was thinking.
I know, okay,
This is the button versus,
Big
The
blind
cutoff
check,
range.
cutoff bet. This is
Cutoff
button's
bet big.
range.
okay.
Can I just clarify, you know how queens are grayed out? Is that because we would three bet them before
Yeah.
the flop?
Yes, so 9,
So
8,
we're no
10, 8,
longer-
jack 8, 10, 9, jack 9, they hang around a bit, right? 8, 7, but
Okay.
there is a good amount of folding. And interestingly
Yeah.
enough, we don't have 9, 7, 10, 7 in our range.
We fold out all the under pairs.
Ace seven's raising. That's
We're folding jack 10 a fair amount of the time.
Just a lot of over, I mean, this is a point, like we do overfold, we have to be cognizant of that.
Jack 9, so we're not folding, but look at that. Take a look at the jack 9. Is it only this, is it only the spades that continue?
Looks like
No, the
maybe,
9, 8, 9, 8s continue. Jack 8,
spades and diamonds.
spades and diamonds, and jack 8. The other one, the other ones do continue a little bit.
Yeah, when you're mixing, it's not a mistake to fold that spot pure with jack 8
Yeah.
of clubs and call
Yeah.
with jack 8 of diamonds.
Yeah.
If this was a rainbow board, are we, the offsuit, hands that we're still continuing with on, that are suited, are we gonna continue more with some of those more on the offsuit side? If it's a rainbow board?
not sure, but we will be able to continue a bit more overall. I'm just not sure how we would structure that.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, but a rainbow board we could defend a bit more. I think,
We will.
might be
see
the
one-
opposite, I'm guessing.
We'll see one later.
But you need a spade, but you need a spade to continue with your king, queen gut shot. You have to have a spade. That's super clear. Same with a king, jack.
So then really, that if it's a rainbow, we might fold more.
So go down to king, jack. I bet king, jack and king, queen should be the same.
Yep.
Basically. But the queen, jack starts getting out of there. The queen, jack gut shot, even with the spade.
Yeah,
It-
its spade is just not quite strong enough. Right?
Yeah.
Continues
with the
more with
jack
the
of
queen,
spade.
less with the jack.
Yeah.
We have no
Even
raises.
king
We
jack.
also have no raises in
The jack
position.
of spade is not good enough.
Yeah.
0 raises. And for some reason, this doesn't add up. We call 37% and fold 45. So where's the other 18% of hands at?
Some of those aces up there look like they're raising, but it's not showing it in the percentages.
Yeah,
Yeah, alright, that might be a bug you can report to them, LP. That's the, it's not showing our raises.
that's a pure.
Oh, there it
bug.
is. There it is.
Okay,
It's good now.
We were.
It was
clicked
because
on
he was over the top of one of the cards, probably.
so now we're at,
Yeah,
okay,
is
now
that-
we got 100%.
Right, it's because we were hovering over a hand that didn't have 100%.
80, 90, yeah,
Play.
okay, now we're good.
Yeah, look at its bluff jam with 76 here.
Matt's starting. I'm gonna head over to that.
Tomorrow, Chris.
No Matt today.
Someone said in chat it's tomorrow.
Oh, June 2nd. I think it is
Yeah.
tomorrow. Okay.
I had to double check that because I signed up for it, but I didn't think it was today.
Which I'm really happy about because I'm excited to be doing this right now.
Yeah.
So
Seven-
our raise, like, I think if you look at
76
GTO Wizard, this is about how often we're gonna raise, heads up. Might be 10% max, I'm guessing.
Click on the all in, Louis, just, oh, when you get a chance.
Raise
Raise less
5%
heads up.
of the time.
That's the list.
Raises a little less heads up.
Yeah.
Not a big difference. I mean, it's only a few combos, but, so it looks like so far our raising frequencies aren't gonna change much. And are we
That's kinda-
raising the same sorts of combos?
Yeah,
We're
like
not-
you're in position. You don't really want to raise very much here.
Let's
Oh,
see
we're
how it
back in.
structures it differently.
Yeah.
So. Why do we have 10-7 here and we don't have it over here?
I don't have one there.
So
Ranges
these
are
are
different.
spades.
GTO Wizard assumed the original, the opening raise was 2.3, and here the opening range was 2.2, so that's not the difference.
Yeah, I mean, like that, even it wouldn't, it would just maybe start folding if it was a difference. It wouldn't completely fold out. the
Yeah, no,
whole
this is,
combo.
yeah,
So we're lacking 10-7, 9-7, 8-6. Yeah, I was wondering why it was odd they weren't there. I thought the queen 7 is whatever.
Those all might be mixing calls too. And this solver just removes the mix spots.
no, but it doesn't remove the mixed spots. Look at the aces.
Yeah, I guess ace 9. Huh.
Yeah.
It has
It
no
just-
frequency of them.
And these are both exactly 40 bigs. So they
Yeah.
just used a different pre-flop,
Yeah.
solver to get their ranges.
Yeah, slightly different ranges.
So here's a similarity. Facing the big bet from the cutoff. Both heads up. And multi-way. We call pure when we have our card of the two.
Which ace queen suited combo is raising? The ace queen of diamonds? Or
All the other
spades?
ones.
The suited, ace queen.
It's like when you don't have a spade, you raise pure.
The suited ones.
The one without the backdoor flush.
Okay.
Would you click on the all in and just see who see the one combo that shoves? So go over to the right side on actions and just click on the all in.
It was it 9-8?
6-7.
And ace queen
6,
with
7.
with the spade
Sure.
or without the spade.
I didn't see the ace queen. Oh, you
Sure.
see it there?
Ace
And
queen
there's probably
without
gonna
the
be no shoving in GTO Wizard because the SPR is different. Can we guess that to be correct?
probably. Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, good luck getting this in a poker coaching site, other than here. I ain't teaching this shit nowhere.
Alright. Interesting.
Hopefully we can make you into the pokercoaching.com's multi-way specialist.
And many
about
months
that?
of training, maybe.
How about that first 6 chapters of the book, how to handle multi-way spots?
Dude,
Yeah,
we might be making you fucking rich yet. We don't even know it.
Mm,
Yep. Chapter 1, don't play multi-way spots.
It's unavoidable.
Mhm.
alright. So what is gonna be more frequent? The cutoff betting, what about that? Okay, let's go back.
Cutoff bets, half the time, like was like, 30% heads up, 15% multi-way here in this spot.
So
So the
cutoff
frequent,
never bets here, basically, so it's not gonna be him. He's gonna check. Then the button, what's the? Gonna bet small most of the time.
Yep.
Perfect. Bet small. Now, here's the fun part. How
big
do
one.
we defend the big line?
yeah, but hold on, before you jump there, I
Gentlemen.
just wanna see real quick, do we have any all-ins heads up? I don't think we do.
On the big line?
The cutoff. I mean, button. The last spot we looked at, I just wanted to see in GTO Wizard, was there any all-ins? In GTO Wizard?
Heads up.
There was just 2 combos here or whatever. It's not a big thing, but probably no all-ins heads up. No, okay. You can move on to the big line. I didn't think there would be.
Alright,
So the big blind is gonna defend poorly.
He's gonna way overfold here.
he's-
Was it a big bet or a small bet?
No,
Small
small
bet.
bet.
It was check, small bet. He's folding probably 60-some percent range.
so
More.
Bet, okay.
no raising range. What the hell?
Oh.
0%.
so we're never check raising in big blind, so we're not,
Never.
the theory.
Not on this texture.
You wanna keep the other guy in?
Pretty crazy.
Like,
We
we
have
might
no
see it
set.
on, we might see it on, 7-6-5, 6-5-4, but not on this. We're not gonna see.
It's an over, it's an ace anyways, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, the best hand we can have is 2 pair.
Yeah, well, we have, yeah, right. We have no sets.
We have no sets.
Pretty crazy. No raising range.
We do have 10-7 off.
Yeah. Yeah, we have 10-7 and we have ace 10 off.
But I
And
mean,
ace-
10-7 off
and
could
we
just be
we have
bad.
ace 7.
We're against
we
2
have-
players that can have,
Yeah.
sets, ace 10. They got a lot of shit they're not gonna fold
As long as
with
it
tons of equity,
flushes.
since their ranges are very equity driven.
But
Like the
let's see.
cutoff, so, when the
We call
cutoff,
the 8-9.
when the cutoff checks, he has the weakest range after we give up.
No, because he still has all his check raises in there,
There's a ton of check raises.
right?
Remember,
Like he's
Right,
he's
right,
checking
right.
he's
Every
checking
set.
sets of aces here.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
checking
the,
2 pairs.
but the majority of his range, I think, I'll be, we can't look at it in a solver, but like he has all of his range. And button's only betting a small portion, so the button is very more condensed now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the percent, yeah, there's a high percentage of folding from the cutoff coming up.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. He's gonna be
So-
over folding as well.
So we're full, what are we doing with our bad spades?
Now, the cutoff has to do the majority of defending in this spot, more so than the big blind. Doesn't get to overfold as much, but it's still gonna be overfolded.
Yeah. So we
call
call all
pure
our flush
every
draws?
flush draw.
Okay. We call all our flush draws. We call our nut, what do we do with our gut shots?
Fold.
10-8, we fold our,
We're gonna fold them without extra equity. We're not,
yes,
are we gonna call the diamonds with a gutter here?
look at Jack 8.
Yeah, Jack eight's 50-50. It's gonna call
Jack eight.
the
Jack 8,
diamonds.
you need a spade. You need a spade.
Yeah.
Jack, you need a spade to call the
The
gut
backdoor
shot.
flush and that front door flushes it's probably spades and diamonds, right?
All the front door
Jack
flushes
nine-
call.
Jack 9 suited, it's probably spades and diamonds.
Jack 9? No, spades and, no diamonds.
Jack nine
Jack nine
suited.
suited.
Oh, Jack 9 suited. Yeah.
That's gonna be
Yeah, Jack 9
diamonds and
suited, spades
spades.
and diamonds, yeah.
Queen 9, on the other hand, it's just gonna be spades, it looks like, as well as king 9. King 8, king 7, they're all just spades, right?
Yep.
That's weird.
Uh,
Oh, no, because that's not a backdoor. I mean, it's not
button
a,
defends king, queen more, I mean, big blind defends king, queen off more than the button did. Am I seeing that right? Didn't the button fold king, queen quite a bit?
No, button has.
this is to a button bet. This is to a button bet.
No, but when we looked at, oh, right.
Yeah.
When we looked at the cutoff bet, button folded king, queen a lot, but now the button bet.
Yeah, so king, queen and king, jack, I assume we need a spade. And either spade does, right? Roll over king, queen and king, jack suited. Yep, 100%. Okay. And there the back door does it.
Okay, so I wanna figure out here what this portion of the range is doing first. So this here, these are all gut shots, right?
No,
With-
those are, the tens are
The
a pair.
tens are pairs.
And you have to have the spade, the dominant suit on the flop. Right? Well, if you have a 10, you can't have the spade, but the other ones all have a spade.
Yeah, to call with those gut shots, you have to have a spade.
Probably extremely zero EV anyway.
What about the diamonds as well? Because you're blocking maybe a flush draw
Nope,
from your opponent.
nope.
it's really the
doesn't-
spade
a
here,
single
right?
diamond is not enough.
Yeah, you gotta have a
Okay.
spade.
It's only a spade.
And then when we
Yeah.
call, the cutoff gets to, doesn't have to defend as wide all of a sudden. Like if we fold, cutoff has to defend more than when we call.
Sure.
Well, we can call it.
They know
gut
what they're
shot.
doing.
What were the suited lower gutters doing again? Like the jack 9 of diamonds and stuff?
Folding.
Oh.
Oh, jack nine of diamonds both. No, they call.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
nothing but calling or folding here. There's no other
Yeah.
option.
Yeah.
Okay. I was
Yeah,
just
if
making
you-
sure
when-
that we were still calling with the backdoor draw versus a button raise here.
Yeah. And
Or
you
bet.
think of it, you can think of the spade functioning the same way because the spade is technically a backdoor draw. I mean, it's also blocking spades, but you can think of them the same way. In both cases, the diamond and the single spade are both backdoor flush draws.
So if we have spades, it's more likely that buttons betting range is value driven. When we have diamonds, they'll have more bluffs in their range.
Okay.
Because we did see the button isn't betting a lot, very many back doors at all, right? It's betting the front doors a lot. So if we have
Mhm.
spades, we're blocking bluffs
And to call with, and to
and they'll be
call,
value heavy.
yeah, to call with a 10, we have to have a spade. To call with a 7, it's different.
No, we need a spade as well.
Okay, yeah. It has to be the 7 of spades. This is at least is a very clean picture.
Now,
How
let's see how
about we-
much.
How
Let's see
about
how-
we not get into this multi-way pot with like 9-6-0, 7-4-0, 7-5-0? How
Sam,
about
Sam,
that?
Sam, Sam, Sam.
But you're so priced in.
Oh, look
Yeah,
at
I
the
mean,
king,
I am defending them most of the time, honestly.
right? And
I have
Louis,
two offsuit.
the king 10 was enough. The king 10 didn't need the spade.
Yeah, because the kicker is good enough.
Yeah.
Now let's compare how much we're just really over folding. Open up the GTO, we're probably only folding, we're probably folding half as often.
Yeah,
Versus a
'cause we-
button.
Yeah, because we don't share the MDF with the cutoff behind.
Right,
us.
we're gonna defend like 60% of our range now, 65% probably.
Why is that now? I don't.
Oh, no.
We're still in multi-way, right?
Take a screenshot of that and send it to them. Say, dude, well, you know, we're in a training session here. What's going on?
So
Someone-
to David's point here, when there's three people in the pot, one person bets, the two people behind that person share how often the pot has to be defended. When your
Yeah.
head's up, you have all the responsibility to defend it, so you have to defend wider, and you get to defend wider. But when you're multi-way, you know the person behind you is going to have some automatic continues or automatic raises. So you don't have to defend quite all of the range that you normally would.
Yeah, I guess I misunderstood that. Because I knew you're supposed to fold more often in a multi-way pot because you're splitting the MDF. But
Yep.
what I thought Ken was saying something a second ago where we're going to be over defending. I thought that's what it
No,
sounded
he
like.
was talking, he was saying the opposite. He was.
Okay, I
he
just
was referring
misunderstood
to-
then.
Yeah, I just wanted him to bring up the heads up range for the people that haven't been here when we went over this quite a bit and just show
Oh.
the glaring difference of how much we're folding here compared to
Yeah.
if we're heads up, like just to
Okay.
drive the
Okay.
point home for some of the newer people that might not have seen this yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. So you were wanting to show the heads up and that we're okay. I see. That makes
How
sense.
much more we get to defend heads up, yeah, compared
Correct,
to just to, you know, just show the contrast of really how much we have to fold multi-way.
Okay.
Yeah, so looking at this spot, I know I am making a mistake because there are times that I am definitely check raising out of that small blind
Big blind, yeah.
or big blind.
I guess
That's gotta be-
you're
un-
both you have to worry a little bit about the slow plays from the cutoff and you want to give the cutoff a chance to make a mistake.
Yeah, like in practice, I am never not raising 10-7 when I get there
Yeah.
with 10-7 of clubs.
And ace 10.
7's down the bottom. You got it. You got the exact hand, right? Except hearts, yeah.
And then there's two ways to keep in mind, you get the same answer, which is one is the button, I mean, the cutoff and the big blind share MDF. Therefore, you can fold more out of the big blind. The other way to think of it is the button has to have a stronger range to bet into two people.
Mhm.
Both give you the same result and for the same
So
reason.
a lot of our overfolds here would be raises heads up. Like we get to raise, what, 13% here? That would bring this up to 50. This would bring this, if we weren't raising, our folds would go up to 57, I guess.
Yeah, so like the low equity raises, up two back doors and no.
Are we
And no-
raising anything that we would be folding now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like our when we add 13% raises in here, that all comes from our folds.
9, 7, Jack 8, Jack 9.
Which is it the ones with the
2-3.
spades? The 9 of spades, 8 of spades, 7 of spades, right down there on the offsuit ones that are raising?
Yeah, all these suited ones, these low cards plus the blocker with the jacks and the queens and the kings. Like they're all raising.
Queen nine.
And these are
Queen
just
nine is
calls here
raised and
now.
is a pure fold. Queen eight has some raises and is a pure fold.
And we also have our value raises. Our 10-7 is now raising,
nine.
our ace-7. Right?
Yeah, but they're calling, we were looking for things that raised, but that raised heads up and folded multi-way. And so far, all I see is. the
Yeah, well,
queen.
and the Scotty's point or Peter's point, I mean, we're not value raising either, so we don't get anything, you know, we don't have any of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, our 74 that calls. Okay. 75. 76.
I mean,
off.
some of it's intuitive too. Like, is anybody really gonna raise ace nine, ace ten? I mean, like ace nine here? Ace eight, ace seven, like I'm never gonna raise these multi-way.
no, you're just gonna call.
So that's kind of intuitive, I think, a lot of this. Except the overfolding part could be difficult. For people. that
And
like
the
to
ace
call.
10 not raising.
Yeah. And like
That's
all
the
these
move.
king five, king four, king three, queen five, king, all these jack, 10, 5. These are all raising heads up and they're all just calling now.
So we can call if we have like second pair and a backdoor flush.
Yeah, they're all diamonds, right? The tens, yeah.
And the same with the sevens, I assume, right?
And honestly, I probably fold them, thinking about it. Like, I'm probably just like, oh, I'm out, whatever. I'm against two people here, cutoffs kind of uncapped pretty much. And I end up folding a lot of that stuff.
Alright. We call it the backdoor flush. No, we fold pure with the backdoor flush.
You guys,
Yeah,
you have to have a pair to go with the backdoor flush. You just-
Or
you just
or
said
a
it.
gut shot.
Hmm.
You need that
Okay.
jack 9 of diamonds as
Right.
opposed to the 5-4 of diamonds.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to ask about a while ago, trying to verify that. That's
Yeah.
what we're talking about.
Yeah, as the buttons range gets tighter for where he bets and because he checks more often, he becomes more polarized. We need more equity to continue on in the hand. That seems to be just kind of a multi-way adjustment is you just need more equity because you're more likely to run into a good hand.
Yeah.
Alright. Very interesting already.
Yeah, I love this.
We're gonna be experts tonight, as long as the
We've been
flop
doing
is
this for
10 to
months.
7.
And now let's do the cutoff.
It's
Yeah.
funny. I know this is a pet peeve of Ken's. Like he just hates being in pots where, he gets 4 callers, and you just have to realize, look, one pair or one thing is not much. You need high equity hands only to play.
Well, yeah, I'll hate them a lot less when I learn how to play them.
Yeah, I think this is going to be really, really key for a lot of us who play in smaller limit games where we see a ton of multi-way flops and recognize, hey, all right, I just have ace 9. This is mostly a check, right? My hand isn't strong enough equity. I need the extra spade to go here. I need
Yeah, I mean, even in good games with strong players, it's not unusual to go 3-way, right? Like, it's not terribly unusual.
3. Sometimes it's 5-way though.
Yeah, well, that's, just, that is frustrating as all hell. You just have to have, yeah, super strong hand. Like one pair often is not gonna do it anymore.
Yeah, like your ace 9 becomes a marginal made hand.
Yeah, pair aces, pocket aces,
Yeah.
fucking dog shit.
It's one pair.
Okay, so what we're looking at now, I made the cutoff bet big and the button call. Now, The big blind becomes extremely aggressive.
And look how much we fold.
Yeah.
Normally we fold half the time to that, probably, I guess like 65% versus that size bet we fold. Typically heads up.
So it's only gonna continue with front door flush. And it's gonna go all in with the front door flush plus a pair.
We go all in or call. This is kind of like a paired flop. We check, raise or fold. This is all in or call.
Yeah, there's no raising at this.
All the spades have enough equity and all the spades with touch have enough equity to jam.
Do all the spades have enough equity? Are we calling our worst
Yeah.
spade draws?
5-4 is calling there, so that's gotta be 5-4 of spades.
Yeah, okay. Roll over 5-4 or 6-4. and see
So
if you
we're
can
jamming
fold any
7
of
with
them.
the backdoor diamonds. 7
No,
X
no.
with backdoor diamonds is jamming.
No, that's spades. The 7 is spades.
Oh, right. Is it
Those
diamond?
are all gonna be king 7 of spades. So you have a flush draw with a pair.
I misread the flop there. For some reason, I thought the flop was a 7 of spades. I don't know why.
You guys see against the big bet and call, we fold almost every top pair.
Wow.
Ace-9
Who's
players.
doing that, guys?
Ugh.
I am.
I didn't.
Louis, would you roll over the 5-4 suited?
I was already doing that, but I thought I was exploiting.
No way I'm folding, an ace to, big bet, yeah. I
Big
mean,
bet
I
call.
don't fold,
I'm
man.
folding all my aces, but
I don't fold on the
Ace-9
big
players.
position. I'm such a
But yeah.
fish.
3/4 pot and a call.
You know how I do that? I'm like, well, it's a lot of bluffs and it's a lot of value. I'm guessing he's bluffing. I gotta call one. I gotta
They're
call one.
always
I gotta call one and defend against his bluffs.
They're always bluff until the river.
Ace-8.
This is a huge league for me.
Yeah, I got into a hand the other day, like almost
Ace-9
just like
mostly
this,
folds.
and I had an ace-6 suited.
Oh, this is big blind. I'm thinking button versus big bet. So button, what did the button call? I'm thinking we're button here. I'm sorry.
I have to back out, and redo it.
You skipped right past the button's call range, didn't you?
hang on. No, we did it.
King 7 of spades, jams. Oh, brutal.
Was,
I think king 7 of spade is a pretty good jam though.
High enough equity.
Yeah.
Remember, like when you're 3 ways like this, you only
Oh,
need
yeah,
32% equity and there's already dead money in the pot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can expect to get called by one of the players and you're just, this is saying, all right, we're gonna run it. This is what we're gonna run.
There's
And,
enough dead money
good-
in the pot.
Yeah, good luck us.
Jack eight going all in here. Jack
Ugh.
nine.
Roll over King 6 suited.
Why is queen 8 and queen 9 and ace 8? Queen 8, queen 9, not playing like jack 8 or king 8. I don't get that.
Hmm.
This queen 8, what this queen 8 has more. Yeah.
It probably matches our calls with the aces. So we have
Jack
better than
8 has-
just ace
Jack 8
high.
is a gut shot.
So we can make the
King 8 is
nuts.
not.
Like ace nine's never gonna make the nuts, right? Ace eight's never gonna make the nuts, so these hands can make the nuts by the river. Maybe that's like a balancing thing. I don't know.
Also, how do we fold king queen? But call queen jack. Okay, so it has to do with the queen. Having a queen in your hand is bad here. Clearly. Cause your queen 9 flush draws. Don't play like the other ones, and then you'd rather call with king jack off than king queen off. Just because you have a king of spade, whereas here, king of spade is folding pure. The queen is really bad.
Must be blocking the bluffs. They bet that size.
Yeah,
And
when
there's
you
no, and there's
jam,
no clean outs, right?
yeah, when you jam with the king of spades here, you're gonna get called by all the worst spade flushes. And you're still ahead of some of them at showdown because they're unpaired as well. The queen eye flush is the other way, where you can go all in with the queen eye flush, and sometimes you're just up against the king high flush. And if you just call here with the queen high flush, you can escape on the river.
But if you hit your flush, are you really gonna fold the queen high flush?
Well, but if you
Good
don't hit
jamming.
your flush, you get to fold with the queen. But
Yeah.
if you don't hit your flush and you have the king high beats all the other flush draws that are called that are unpaired. So you're going to get extra value by getting called by a worse hand than yours when you go all in with the king high flush
Yeah,
here.
makes sense.
Almost no offsuit combos defend. Unless you have precisely the queen of spades. And it's mixing. This 9-8 here.
It's open end. It's
So we mostly defend by.
Holding. 50-50, raise, call, you raise or jam. I mean, all in or call.
And the 8-9, which is an up and down straight draw, you only defend if you have a spade.
yeah,
You
or
can fold that without a spade.
or you call with the 8-9 of diamonds, you jam with the 8-9 of spades, and you call with the mixed one if you have a spade.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, would you roll over 5-4 once? I just want to see if it calls all.
Like the
Of the
10-7 two pair can even suck out with a flush sometimes.
Yeah, or a full house.
Full house too, yeah.
Crazy.
We can put these, it's interesting. I might go back over this video and put some of this into Aqualab to see that's how you can see the EV of these hands versus the range. Like we could put the ranges in and the flops and run Aqualab and see the equities of each combo in there.
Yeah.
Most of our defense here is just pure flush draws.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, I
think
know you
Scott.
hate, I know you're not a fan of Equilab LP, but this is a spot since this tool doesn't give it to us that it would be helpful, I think. To some extent.
Yeah, I think Scott wants to see the 54 suited. Make sure that it's only spades defending.
Well, I knew it was only spades. I wanted to see if it was 100% spades, and it's not. 6-4 is folding some of its spades. 5-4 is calling all of them.
That's weird.
6-5, that's. Let's see, why is that? 5-4.
Yeah, like we're folding some
5, 6,
spades.
7, 8. What's the difference between the 5-4 and the 6-4? That's
Good question.
It's just folding,
not important.
it's mixing folds with a lot of the spade flushes and other combos too. It's just,
No, it's. Where else is it? Whereas
It's
it's,
the wheel.
yeah, it's folding the 8 deuce. Yeah, so it's folding some of the, it's folding some of the really bad spade draws.
It's just
Oh.
bouncing somehow, which is yeah, like, we're never gonna be able to figure that out. I don't
Yeah.
think. It's just like.
No, Andy totally figured it out. 5-4
Yeah.
of spades can make the wheel.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
It has extra
Right.
equity. It's all
That's
about
where it is.
finding the extra equity.
The 5-4 is calling more than all these like 8-2, 9-2, 9-3, 9-4, 8-5.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
calling more than the 6-4. Yeah, and the
How
6-4
come
calls
the
more than
5-4
the
makes
8-2,
more
9-2.
sense than 6-4?
But once you get up to the jack.
So honestly, I think I could just be happy folding all these. If it's folding these more than half the time, the 8-2, 8-3, all this shit, I just fold it right away.
Sure.
And like the
But-
5-4, just call the 5-4 pure probably.
And the
It's
jack
over-
2 and the queens
and
2
over-
and the kings
Over
two,
fold
call
even
all that.
more. And maybe call a bit more with some of these better flush draws like the king high, queen high. If they're not full frequency already.
So those are all full frequency already.
Okay,
You're just calling a little bit, you're not catching up on anything else, but so what? I mean, I guess if you had to catch up on one, call the 6-4 full frequency.
Alright. Let's put a third.
oh, so we do get to play turns.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Do a brick, do a two of clubs.
No, I want to complete the flush.
Well, then complete the flush.
All right.
Make it a
We are-
nasty flush that brings in some backdoor straights.
Yeah. 5 of spades, good.
There we go.
5 doesn't bring any straights in.
I thought-
Could have did a 6, should have did a 6 of spades.
Do you guys see what I see?
So what, whose range are we on now? This is back to the cutoff?
This is
So
the
this is big
big
blind, first act.
Oh, big blind's first to act.
We have donks.
No,
Yeah.
we never check here.
We
Yeah.
have 98% donks.
Whoa,
Wow.
we never,
Alright.
Well, how many combos do we have? We don't have, that's because we hardly have anything and everything hits the flush that we defend.
when the spade comes
Yep.
in. We
Our
bet every
check.
call, because everything we called was a spade draw and
Yeah.
the 9-8.
Yeah, our check is 9-8 of diamonds.
Oh, we do check the 9-8 diamonds. Okay, I thought
Yeah,
maybe. we put it in
everything
the
else-
bluff.
We donk.
Probably start a new paragraph for this. This is turn. So it'll be easier to find it when you go back to review it. Just make a new
Oh, we're still
paragraph.
on the big blind, so.
Yeah, but make a new paragraph for the turn. Right? It'll be easier when you sort through it again later. You'll find it easier without having to read everything. And so our bluffs are 9-8.
No, our give up is 9-8 of diamonds. Everything else bets.
9-8's betting too, right?
No,
Never?
Pete is exactly spot on. Our give up is 9-8 of diamonds.
Oh, the other 9-8s are betting though, right?
How did you figure that out, Pete?
Because that hand went from a marginal a marginal draw
So great.
to a complete disaster. Right? Our
Could hit
our-
it, you
the
could hit it,
equity
hit
of
it
our
as a-
draw went significantly down.
And it's the only one we're doing it with.
And Ken, the only other 9-8 we have is the 9-8 of spades. Remember, we only continued with spades and diamonds.
Yeah.
So we don't have.
And so our bluffs here are going to be when we have an ace and we have a spade remaining. So ace of hearts, 8 of spades.
Our
And we're,
bluffs are the king, jack and the queen, jack. With a
Yeah.
single spade.
And so all of those bluffs are now spade draw, gut shot draw. And they're gonna protect our made flushes.
And we're mostly donking quarter pot as well, right? That's a small bet.
Yeah, we are donking small.
So now the mysterious queen appears again. And it makes it so that if we have the queen, we go all in sometimes. With queen
Yeah,
nine,
ace eight, queen eight, queen nine, ace eight, queen two.
the 8 and the queen of spades have mysterious properties.
What's the extra lines on the queen two right there? Queen two suited?
Got a little bit of jam.
Yeah,
It's calling.
queen two of spades is also weirdly listed as the check to check raise that balances our 89. So we're gonna
Oh.
check raise the queen two of spades because we have a check with the 89 of diamonds.
So I can comfortably say I'm never gonna have a checking range here. I'm gonna be betting or jamming.
Yeah,
Yeah, and giving up with the 89 of diamonds. But because the solver is perfectly balanced, it has one give up combo, 89 of diamonds. So it has to have one check raise combo. So it picks queen two to check raise.
On this turn here, if it was a five of diamonds or club or anything else, we're probably just gonna be checking a lot of our range here.
We'll dig into it.
Yeah, five of.
Bring it straight in, make it the 6 of spades, 'cause that brings in a lot more straights for everyone.
If I say that if the spade doesn't come in, we're checking range. We're betting
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah,
That's what I was-
100%.
I was making sure. Yeah.
Just simply say 6 of spades.
So it's pretty
Mhm.
much, unless the flush comes in, it's checking everything.
We'll see if the straight completes if we lead.
what do you guys want? for-
The 6 of hearts. Yeah, see
Oh,
now we get
yeah.
some. Lines. Our 9/8s all go all in.
It's all in or check, right?
What is it? Jamming all in with the 9/8 with though? Oh, straight. Never mind.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
the straight comes in. The 6.
I forgot there was a. He changed it to a 6 of hearts.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
And our 9/8 offsuit that is checking is probably checking to check raise there.
Pair the
Definitely
ace.
don't do enough jamming on the turn. It looks like Jesus.
Well, this is a pretty minutia spot.
Yeah, we got a lot of digging to do. This is just round one of many, I think.
Let me
Yeah,
go buy
like-
a few shovels.
We'll start
Awesome.
seeing some heuristics that over and over and over as we look at different hand classes. Different flop textures,
What's the sizing on donking the nuts?
quarter pot. In most spots, quarter pot are all in. So put an ace up.
This is a weird hand where the 6 of spades is the best card in the deck for every hand for our entire range.
Hmm.
The 6 of spades makes every hand in our range.
So that 6 of spades, we're pretty much jamming everything from big blind then.
Well, not that you're jamming. Is it all
I
jamming?
actually thought there would be more checks with the 6 of spade. I don't think you put it up yet.
We'll
yeah,
read
no.
that before we put
Because
in.
it brings in a lot more for us, so we might have more small bets that all ends.
Yeah, but we weren't all in on all our bets, were we? On our donks? We were donking small a lot.
Yeah, I was going through it quick. I can't remember every spot.
Just never checking with a 6 of spades, it seems.
No,
No, it's just raising big. Less.
big bets.
Less.
Now it's a lot of big bets. Then no
Yeah.
So
all
it's-
ins.
So that's gonna be like a half pot size.
Yeah, that's like the absolute best card for our range.
I know.
What if it's the mysterious queen of spade that comes on the turn?
Oh,
Oh, now we go nuts.
Bet big again. Small and big. Mixes, it's bounces pretty good there between small and big.
mhm.
So here the big blind is only defending with the flush draw, so. Alright. So say the turn is the, I don't know, five
Gonna
of
make some.
cards. We check, what is cutoff supposed to do? Mostly checks. What is the button supposed to do? Mostly that. Uh-huh. Alright, so the button bets it's small again. Where do we stand with our flush draws now?
So what was the big blinds range on the 5? Was it checking mostly, right?
Yeah,
So we do have raises now.
Yeah, he checks almost pure.
No raises. Is this big blind?
yeah. All of those, king through jack, 2, 3s and 4s, those were all flush draws as well, right? That they're folding now?
So LP, this isn't really a double barrel, I don't think. Didn't the cutoff bet flop and then check turn?
Yep.
No,
So now the button's leading.
no, the,
Yeah, cutoff bet big, button
Cutoff
called,
bet.
we called. Now it
that's
went
right,
check, check. And so it's not really a double barrel.
that's right. So let's go back then. This guy gonna check, this guy is also mostly gonna check. This guy is gonna,
So no, the last scenario, it was cutoff bet big, button called, we called, then you put a 5 of hearts up and it went check bet and now it was back to the big blind.
so we call, and then this guy.
This is a different scenario than what we were looking
Yeah.
at.
Yeah. Yeah, but overall, this is what's likely gonna happen. The cutoff gonna check. We're always checking. This guy checks most of the time, like 80%, 85%. Then this guy bets small, like 45% of the time. We only defend by calling, so this is like the most likely line. And then it's on him.
Okay, so we're
Okay.
start, that's all right. Alright, so I thought you were still trying to finish out the last sim you were making notes on, that's all.
No. Now, we see that the cutoff is raising a bunch here.
So he's doing the cash game metric where he's raising his aces and his sevens and checking and calling his tens.
So that's a pattern you see in cash.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about cash.
I don't know. Scott, are you still here?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah, so do you see that from the cash game where top pair gets raised and bottom pair gets raised and middle pair gets called?
Yeah, but not multi-way.
Yeah. That's what he's doing here.
Yeah, but yeah, you see that. And usually it's bottom pair with some additional equity.
So hold
Yeah.
on, this is big, are we looking at big blinds range here? Or is this
So-
cutoff?
So this is the cutoff.
Okay,
And he's doing it because all of those sevens that he's raising have either equity with the straight or with the flush. So he's raising the 7 with the 8 or the 9, and then he's raising the 7 with the spade, or the jack has a tiny bit of equity there.
so this is why we have to check all our sets on the flop. Do we pure check our sets on the flop? So now we get to have all these, we get to mix our bluffs in.
Yep, because now tens and sevens check raise and aces, sets of aces still flat here a bit. Yeah, just
So LP, I feel like these other notes were all for cutoff bet big, button called, and now we're running a different scenario. So you might want to start this in a new spot. Am
Yeah.
I mistaken?
Must say, I
No,
do
well,
not.
we
love-
started as the big line has no raising range against the button small bet, but against the button small bet now.
Okay.
And big line call. The cutoff. A lot, is raising a lot. Using cash game, what did you say, cash game matrix?
yeah, top pair for value and bottom pair with an equity redraw
As a bluff.
as a high equity bluff.
Yeah. I hate checking the ace again. That little sliver there, giving two people all those redraws.
On a dynamic board that like,
I know. Oh,
yeah.
it almost never does it, but oh, do I hate, would I hate that?
The kings are
gotta-
full. You're starting to
I
fold
did that
kings
the oth- I
already.
did that the other day with a set of kings and killed myself for 200 big blinds.
Yeah, are you finding the check raise with Jack 7 and folding king here?
So do you remember, Scotty, when we were talking about like, in JL's and like, the simplification, we never like kind of raise a marginal main hand with a flush draw and on and on.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not as clear as that.
No.
It's a great guideline for like, strategy construction, okay? It's better than, it's probably a great heuristic, but it's not exact.
Yeah, and JL is changing it now too. He's noticed that how much the solver does raise paired plus draw.
He started evolving right before he ended the homeworks, like a couple months, like 2 or 3 months before he ended it, he was starting to evolve his theory a bit, and then he stopped them. Which
Are we
fucking,
not doing homeworks anymore? I thought we just weren't presenting them.
pretty sure he's done with it.
Oh.
No, he said to me he was still doing that.
Yeah, I thought we were still doing them. We just don't get to submit them anymore, which I thought
Yeah,
was, I love submitting them,
Let's see if he's done with it.
seeing what everybody else was doing. I thought that
Yeah,
was,
he is still doing them.
Is he?
Yeah. He's doing them every month still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do not submit them, you do it yourself.
yeah. What?
I mean, the homework channel's gone.
Why we stopped?
There's no
why they
homework
didn't-
channel left.
Does anybody know why they stopped doing the homework for him?
Well, it's gone. It's out of Discord. Are you sure he's still doing? Oh, there it is. Never mind. I see it.
Yeah, but you don't submit it on Discord, do you?
No, no.
Yeah,
You just do it at home.
yeah,
You do
just
it
at home.
yourself and then
Yeah, I just really
he
like
goes-
watching other people's solutions. I found that so useful.
I really liked it too. I like the interaction a lot. I wish you didn't stop it.
Maybe we'll send them a note. I mean, does anybody know why they did that? What it was about the form that made it a problem?
Deck
wasn't
of
like-
degeneracy.
The lady that
What?
was, one of the ladies that works for him said that it wasn't getting enough responses, I guess, for that, and then a little coffee, I think, were the two things or something
There
like
was
that.
like 80 people a month in there.
It was great. Oh, well, whatever.
And he's still doing it. There's June. Okay.
Maybe he'd hire you as an assistant to do it with him, Scotty.
Yeah. Oh,
I suggested LP take it over.
you know how much I would love that, going through each person's answer and commenting. Oh my God. That is Scotty heaven right there. I get to give notes.
Yeah, the cutoff is definitely up to no good here, but he's protected by having sets of sevens and tens and aces. Oh my. So
Oh, man. Alright, so he raises a lot. When he raises, what does the button do?
very straightforward. Calls with his best hands, continues with his high equity draws in position.
What size bet was it in relation to the pot? 9, so it's,
3x raise.
2, 4, that was 12. So 2/3.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, wait, this is a check raise. I would have been under the impression we overfold a lot here because big blind's still in the hand, but it doesn't look like we are overfolding, are we?
um,
On these boards.
yeah, we're
Are we overfolding?
Sure.
51%.
Well, we only gotta call 7. Basically, right, to win, what's the pot? 2, 4, 13, 20, the pot, we only gotta put like 7 in to win 21-ish. 28, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think, I guess we are overfolding, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but like remember the small blind or like the big blind has something because he called, and the cutoffs check raise is also really strong too. Right, so we're against 2 other people who are interested in the pot, so like our equity is going to be small here. So we need to have our best value hands and our best draws.
I guess we're overfolding about 25%.
Which is okay because we're still multi-way, so we
Yeah.
still only have to defend this small portion of our range. Meet MDF here. Is the time to get nitty.
You're right about that, except one thing, I don't think there is any MDF. In this situation, facing the, the check raise, we don't, our MDF is 0.
No, I mean, it's still kind of a thing. It's not like a, it's not a, it's a
No, I don't
guideline
mean,
more than
I don't mean
anything,
we don't
right?
want to be in there. I'm saying we don't have, we're not being exploited. We're playing our hands that are ahead, and we're playing our hands that can draw and become ahead.
Yeah.
We
So-
don't call anything marginal. We don't have any MDF.
Right.
So in how MDF is going to figure here is how marginal we get to call stuff,
Right.
right?
And
Is a
it's-
pair with a gut shot good enough, or do we need a pair with open-ended?
Yeah.
Or sorry, right? Like, yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
But we don't have to catch any, MDF is based on, the idea that people can profit from betting their whole range against you.
Yep.